I'm starting with coffee today because I need it. Why is Michael Moore still relevant? I just heard talk about how nothing was proven wrong with Biden's son. How do you know? Nothing was investigated. Isn't that the whole point of what you said about the president needing to be investigated, Kavanaugh needing to be investigated, all this bullshit going on? You just sat with Tapper and said, what? He uses, Biden used his political influence to get his son some work, to help him out. Yeah? Is that really what you believe at $600,000? I'm sorry, it was $600,000 a year? That's a little help? I wish somebody would help me a little bit like that. No. And if nothing has been proven without an investigation into that case, then how can you make the same assumption with the president? Oh, it has to be investigated. Well, you can't make a guilty or non-guilty judgment without having something investigated. But the problem is there's no evidence to begin with. In the Biden case, we actually have Joe Biden saying, I did this firsthand. And MSNBC talking about a second whistleblower. There's not a first whistleblower until there's a name. Look, if somebody came up to you, if your boss came to you at work and said, you're fired, and you say why, which I'm sure it's happened to at least some of you, what do they tell you at work? You can't tell you, privacy. That sucks. But in a criminal case, if somebody accuses you of something, you have the right to face them. They can't just make a blind assumption. And why are we taking a blind assumption from a whistleblower? If it is so clear that there's a whistleblower, this is what really grinds my gears. Why didn't he come forward? He or she or they will be protected. Will they not? You've got MSNBC, CNN, you've got ABC, you've got all the major news outlets, well, obviously with the exception of Fox, backing this person up, even though no one has firsthand information of it. I think it's really, no. You got to have evidence. Come on, for anybody. This is anybody. With Bill Clinton, there wasn't any evidence, and they got him on obstruction. They got Bill Clinton on something that happened during the investigation, which I think is really pathetic. So I'm going to make a prediction. I will predict they're going to do the same thing here. If they can't get Trump on, they didn't get him on. They didn't get him on Russiagate with the Steele dossier, which was found to be bunk. There's nothing with the Ukraine conversation. I don't know why Rachel Maddow keeps saying clearly for election help. No. It's not clearly for election help. If anything, it is ambiguous. I'll give you that. There may be some ambiguity, but it's not clear-cut. Very few things are ever clear-cut. But for her to say that, I think, is just bad journalism. Does that need to be said? Well, I said it, whatever. If I'm wrong, I'll shut the hell up. So, yeah, I'm listening to Michael Moore, and Michael Moore said this. Michael Moore predicted that Donald Trump was going to be elected. And Michael Moore said it for this reason. He said that Donald Trump was the Molotov cocktail. Don't quote me exactly, but Donald Trump was the Molotov cocktail of the middle class being thrown at the big brother, the government, the man. Yeah, not enough coffee today. And he's right. He was right. I think the middle class, absolutely. Now, and understand when you say there's a middle class, there's a fluctuation. Middle class in one place doesn't necessarily mean middle class somewhere else. Now, if you make $30 in a small town in Iowa or Ohio or Indiana, that's going to be a major difference than making $30 in Los Angeles or New York, where you're maybe just getting by and you're not middle class, you're lower class, or you're just above poverty level at that point, based upon purchasing power. So you can look at purchasing power with these things. So when I say middle class, I went off on a tangent there. Anyways, Michael Moore was right. What Michael Moore is wrong about is that there's clear-cut evidence and there's no argument, and that it's just no, it's not. And for him to talk about, I keep hearing this over and over and over. Why do they keep injecting The president called on China to help with his re-election. That's a big jump, huge jump. You can call on a country to investigate things. You can call on a country to do their own investigation. They should do that. Are you really going to be that? I'm not even. I've seen it. I'm still waiting on the law that was broken or that might have been broken. Show me the law in the Constitution that says that the president isn't allowed to do those things in the first place, and I'll give you what credit's due. So, I don't know. This is a short video. I'm just pissed off because I saw Michael Moore, and why is he still relevant? And I love John Tapper. Michael Moore, the accredited filmmaker. Look, Michael Moore had the intestinal fortitude to go out there and do some stuff. He got off his butt somewhat, and he did some things. That's great, fine. He confronted people. Was it the best journalism? Probably not. It was shock journalism. It was exciting at the time, but I don't know if it's relevant. And I'm hearing very little evidence. I'm hearing a lot of feelings about what people think and thought and might and may. Oh, this lawyer. We have information that the lawyers might have another whistleblower. Well, what is might? Give me something tangible. Don't give me may or think or should or would. Put yourself in that. What would you do? What would you do if you were in the situation and you were being accused of something that you may or may not have done? Let's say you did it. Let's say you didn't do it. Put yourself in the mind both ways in that situation. Would you want the chance to defend yourself? I mean, have you not ever been accused of bullshit in your life? Things you didn't do, or that the perspective was changed? Like, wait, that's not what happened. This is really what happened. But because somebody thought or felt something, and that changes people's lives. I know there's 2 or 3 other people out there that got me fired somewhere, so kiss my ass. Because when you speak about somebody in a negative way, and if you do it, why are you doing it? What's the purpose behind it? And in this case, what's the purpose of going after the President of the United States? Does it help the country? Does it help your party? Who does it help? I mean, we always talk about this, in a movie. Who does it benefit the most to find the murderer? Go get him, boys. It's who does it benefit? It can't benefit it can't benefit the Democrats because they think that they're going to prop up Biden for the next presidential election. They're not. He's too damn old. He's too scatterbrained. Okay? It's like his head's full of like a Rubik's Cube that's all cracked up and broken up. It ain't ever going back together. He is just too damn old. And I wouldn't want any president, at the red button with that level of mental agility. Look, he's not going to be the front runner. So if the Democrats are doing this to make him the front runner, they're just spinning their wheels at this point. Okay. So they need to find a good candidate if they want to present their side, and they need to do it with somebody who represents mainstream America, represents a good gambit of society. The normalization. When I say normal, I don't mean bad or good or right or wrong. I mean within a certain group. That's what you want to aim after if they want to win the next election or even have a fighting chance. You cannot attack somebody. It's not working out. It's looking really, really bad. So they need to step back and then reassess, and then I think, but they're not going to. Okay, they're going to keep with the same stuff because they're getting views. Okay, tell me what you think. That's everything.